Most people remember Mike Tyson as a ferocious force in the boxing ring, a man whose speed, power, and intimidation seemed almost supernatural. He became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, a living symbol of invincibility, capturing the world's imagination. Yet Tyson's story is far more than victories and titles. Behind the fame was a boy shaped by fear, trauma, and survival instincts. Every knockout, championship, and public triumph was built on pain he never fully processed. To understand Iron Mike, one must look past the belts and the headlines, to the childhood wounds that never healed. A broken childhood in Brownsville. Tyson's early life in Brownsville, New York, was one of chaos and neglect. He grew up hungry, scared, and largely invisible to anyone outside trouble-filled circles. Violence became his first language. Robbed, beaten, and abandoned, he quickly learned that survival depended on fighting. Family, as most knew it, was an abstract idea rather than reality. In this environment, Tyson didn't grow into a fighter by choice. He was forced into it. Every punch thrown and every scuffle was a lesson in protection. His immense power in the ring later became a reflection of his constant need to defend himself, not merely a talent for boxing. The mentor who saw potential. Cus D'Amato changed Tyson's life in ways no one else could. More than a trainer, Cus became the father figure Tyson never had. He offered guidance, belief, and structure, helping transform a scared, angry boy into a disciplined athlete. Under Cus, Tyson's raw violence became controlled, his anger shaped into a tool for success. The mentorship instilled in him a sense of self-worth and direction. But tragedy struck when Cus died. The death left Tyson emotionally unanchored. He lost the person who had been his guiding light, leaving him vulnerable to fame, fortune, and people whose intentions were far from pure. The youngest heavyweight champion. At just 20, Tyson stunned the world by defeating Trevor Berbick to become the youngest heavyweight champion ever. Fans celebrated his perfection and power, seeing him as an unstoppable phenomenon. But the public image masked a boy still mourning his mentor. Without Cus's steadying influence, Tyson's life became increasingly vulnerable to manipulation. Advisors, promoters, and friends took advantage of his naivety, often disguising exploitation as guidance. While the world admired his dominance, Tyson navigated complex pressures alone. The young champion's victories were accompanied by inner turmoil, as the emotional foundation he had relied upon was suddenly gone, leaving him to face both fame and predatory forces unprepared. Fame's hollow cage. Fame brought Tyson wealth, recognition, and adoration, but it did not heal his inner wounds. Despite his external success, he remained a scared child at heart. The more he achieved, the emptier life felt. Those around him failed to understand his struggles, offering advice and companionship that were often self-serving rather than nurturing. The public adored him, yet Tyson felt isolated, trapped inside a world built on appearances. Every knockout and championship only emphasized the void he carried. In this gilded cage of wealth and notoriety, the boy from Brownsville continued to fight battles that money and fame could never resolve, illustrating that success cannot replace emotional stability. The marriage that crumbled. Tyson's marriage to actress Robin Givens in 1988 brought hope of a new chapter. The public saw it as a fairy tale union for a troubled star. Behind closed doors, however, the relationship was turbulent. Arguments, distrust, and fear became commonplace. Tyson struggled to manage rage, sleepless nights, and lingering childhood trauma. Givens, in turn, felt trapped by the chaos surrounding her husband. Their tensions exploded publicly in an interview with Barbara Walters, where Givens described their marriage as abusive. Tyson's silence during the broadcast was telling, exposing vulnerability and confusion. The public witnessed the human frailty of a champion, and sympathy quickly shifted to judgment. A world unraveling. After the televised confrontation, Tyson's life spiraled further out of control. The humiliation was not just private, it became global. He made reckless decisions, surrounding himself with people who exacerbated his chaos. The more the world criticized him, the deeper he retreated into destructive behavior. His personal life fell apart, and his legendary career began to falter. The public perception shifted from awe to scrutiny. Every mistake became magnified, reinforcing the narrative of a champion who could not manage life outside the ring. This period set the stage for the darkest chapters of Tyson's life, demonstrating how fame can intensify personal struggles. The conviction that broke him. In 1992, Tyson's career hit its lowest point. Convicted of rape, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison, forever altering public perception. Millions struggled to reconcile the unstoppable champion with this devastating fall. For Tyson, however, the collapse was almost inevitable, shaped by years of exploitation, trauma, and unaddressed pain. He maintained his innocence, but the legal system saw otherwise. Prison stripped him of freedom, forcing him to confront the ghosts he had long tried to evade. Sponsors withdrew, media coverage turned relentless, and the public, once devoted, now reviled him. Incarceration marked not just a legal punishment, but a profound psychological trial. The Return That Wasn't Healing, released in 1995, Tyson attempted a comeback. Though he returned to the ring, freedom did not equate to peace. The anger and unpredictability that had simmered during his incarceration resurfaced stronger than ever. His emotional wounds remained unhealed, undermining both his personal life and career. Fans expected redemption, but the man who re-emerged was different, more volatile, defensive, and haunted. Even as he fought for victories, Tyson struggled internally with unresolved trauma. His return highlighted the limitations of fame and athletic accomplishment in addressing deep psychological scars, emphasizing that professional success cannot compensate for emotional damage. Searching for redemption. Despite public failures, Tyson gradually sought to rebuild himself. He turned to personal reflection, faith, and new ventures, seeking meaning beyond boxing. Interviews, acting roles, and business efforts became ways to regain control over his life. Slowly, he faced the emotional legacy of his childhood and professional missteps. This journey toward redemption was neither linear nor complete, but it revealed a man attempting to reconcile the boy from Brownsville with the global icon the world saw. Tyson's story highlights the complexity of human growth. Even amidst scandal and loss, there remains potential for self-understanding and change. The legacy beyond the ring today. Tyson's life is remembered not only for victories and controversies, but for resilience. He embodies a paradox, a figure of immense power who was also deeply vulnerable. His story illustrates the enduring impact of childhood trauma and the importance of mentorship, stability, and emotional guidance. Tyson's legacy challenges the public to see beyond spectacle, understanding the person behind the persona. While history may emphasize knockouts and scandals, the true narrative is one of survival, struggle, and the ongoing quest for healing, a reminder that even legends carry human fragility. Conclusion. Mike Tyson's journey is far more than a tale of athletic dominance. It is a story of a boy forced to fight for survival, a young man propelled to fame and fortune, and an adult grappling with unresolved trauma in full public view. Every triumph and every scandal is a layer of a life shaped by fear, mentorship, loss, and resilience. The world witnessed a champion, a villain, and a human being all at once. Beneath the headlines and controversies lies a lesson. Greatness does not erase pain, and healing is an ongoing fight, far beyond the reach of any title belt.